Community Impact Program. And here on Midday, anchor Todd Quinones is going to join us all week with different guests to tackle a number of topics. Today, he's discussing student debt. Todd?
Dana, hi, thank you. Great to be back here on Midday. You know, as we know, millennials, they're struggling to pay off their student debt. At the same time, they're trying to save, maybe even possibly invest in the stock market. Michelle Jackson here is with Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada to talk us through this issue and so many others. Thank you so much for joining us, Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
Millennials now, this generation, what they're facing that's different from other previous generations is the amount of student debt. It is enormous.
It is enormous. They have taken on quite a bit more. We are experiencing what we have cultivated, which is we've really encouraged kids to go to college.
Right.
And so a lot more of them have gone to college, but haven't necessarily had the means to do that. So they've had to take out a substantial amount of debt. And we've also had college costs greatly increase over the last 10, 20 years. So the same degree, if you will, is costing them a lot more money.
Right. Add into the equation the fact that they are entry-level jobs and entry-level pay with little to no credit. It's some tough sledding for these millennials. What is it that you recommend? What are some things that they can do? I know a lot of it's got to be pre-planning too before you get to that point.
Sure. So obviously the students that we're talking to now that are in high school, we're asking them to think through their college. If they're going to go to college, look at it as a return on investment. So what are you going to get out of this? Is it worth it putting in $100,000 to get a degree to go out to the workplace and make it $60,000 a year
right.
As a top pay in that position? Maybe it's better to start off at a community college and take care of some of your credit courses there before you transfer to the bigger name university. What we're suggesting for people that are already there, they already are in that debt, is if they are able to stay at home with mom and dad a little bit longer. I have quite a few people that work at our office at Junior Achievement that would be considered millennials as age, and that's what several of them have done. They've chosen to stay at home a little bit longer while they're working through those first jobs. They're delaying buying a house, maybe delaying buying a car.
And that has a greater impact on the economy overall for all of us because of that issue. Typically you'd see maybe in previous generations, children of that age, maybe buying the first starter home and buying a new car, but all that stuff has got to be delayed now. What are some of the things that you tell them to avoid, not only the children, but also their parents and also their grandparents who are also trying to help them navigate these waters? What are some of the pitfalls that you've seen?
Well, one of the things that we talk about is, again, around education is, don't delay entering the job market and continue to take on more college debt if it's not necessary. Right. Maybe you want to get a master's degree in the future. Maybe go out into the workplace, get some experience under your belt. Go ahead and start earning a paycheck and start saving money and putting money away and paying off the existing debt that you have and trying not to take on any more debt than what you already have acquired. But it is really important that they do try to save for their future as well. And what's really surprising is we have probably about 1 in 6 millennials are actually saving for retirement, and they're doing a good job.
Really?
Because they have experienced, some of the stock market crashes or the recessions.
Yeah.
They've seen that a couple of times in their lifetime, and so they have been impacted by it, and they've taken notice of the mistakes that maybe their parents or
previous
have made. So
and along those lines, also I have to ask real quick about the credit cards. Are they still putting too much on credit cards? I know a lot of us when we're young, we don't really quite understand that, and that's a common mistake.
Yeah, I think that we are seeing a decline in that, but you also are seeing a decline in that just because we have taken on in the last, even just 10, 11 years, we've taken on a much more strategic approach, I think, as a country even to looking at our financial situation and trying to be more in tune with, do I really need this, or is this just something I want? Can I save up for this? Is this necessary?
The tough choices that need to be made. Michelle Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Dana.
All right.